If you do not spend money, you will not make money. I've met so many people running a business, trying to give advice to people. I have given advice to so many people that are scared to spend money on ads, scared to spend money on coaching, scared to invest in a business, scared to buy insurance, scared to even use anything. They cannot see, if you're one of those people that cannot see how investing some money into coaching or a course or advertising or paying for services to help your business, I'm sorry to say this, but if you're not willing to spend money, you're not going to have a good time running your business. So I've shown multiple people how to make Facebook ads. I'm going to give you guys a story. I've shown multiple people how to run Facebook ads, shown them you can put the money into the ads. Here's the message. Here's the average cost per message. Here's someone booking the job, booking this, booking that, right? Showing them logically, oh, if you spend 20 or 40 bucks, you can make back $200 or $300. And they'll like run the ad and they'll see the money start going out of their account and they'll shut them off. And it's crazy because it's like you're worried about 20 or 30, 40, $50, $100. But you're not thinking about the thousands of dollars you can make. You're not thinking about the millions of dollars you can make. A lot of people, I also have a course not related to this, not related to self-improvement, a different course that I've been pushing for a while. It's been growing. So I had a period where the course was free. Right? I even had like a free PDF as well, a free guide on how to start this certain type of business. I have a business and I was showing people how to create the same type of business, how to get customers, how to price their services, how to make ads for the specific type of business offer. And when it was free, the free PDF, tons of these people, I'm talking tons of these people downloaded this free PDF. I'm talking hundreds. And they're leaving comments on my videos. They're DMing me. They're asking questions. They're trying to figure out how to start this business, how to do this, how to do that. So I created a course. I made the course free in the beginning to test. When I linked the course, tons of people are joining the course. Tons of them, right? When it's free. The second I make the course paid, I remember $30. The course costs $30. The guide on how to start a business where you're making, I'm talking like sometimes $1,000 a day. That's a common thing in this kind of business that I'm talking about. What happens? The people that are viewing the free videos, the free tutorials, almost none of them. They go on, I can see they go on the page and they click off. They click off. Just because you have to pay for it. And I just think about all the people that miss out, that are not willing to take action, that are not willing to take money, that are not willing to pay for coaching. Guys, I'm telling you, I have paid thousands of dollars for coaching, for courses. I have paid people to teach me how to run ads. I have paid people to make ads for me. I have sunk tons of money into this stuff. And it works. It absolutely works. I've tried to do it by myself. You can try to do it by yourself, the trial and error. But I'm just going to tell you guys right now, it is going to take forever. You are going to waste a lot more money trying to figure it out on your own. And that's the weird thing. When you try to, and I'm telling you this, guys, sincerely, when you try to figure out things on your own, the amount of mistakes and fuck ups and stuff that end up happening and bullshit that you go through, it's basically cheaper to pay someone or pay for that knowledge or to enter a course. And I really want to bring up, why does this happen? Why are people so arrogant that they think, that's the thing, people's egos are so big. Why do people not buy courses? Why do people not buy coaching, even though they know it will work? Even they know logically in their head that spending this money or running an ad or whatever, that spending this money is going to return them. It's going to make a return on investment. They are going to get the knowledge that they're looking for. They are going to get that jump start. People's egos are so big that they think that they can do it themselves better than someone who's already been doing it for years. That they think that they can outsmart the system. That they can skip the trial and error and figure it out like that without spending money. And that's the thing. They're thinking in a cheapskate mindset. That's another thing that keeps these kind of people. This is most normies. If you ever want to know why most people never start a business, or most people try to start a business and they fail, they don't make it, they encounter resistance. A lot of the times, one of the biggest mistakes I see in business is that people are cheapskates. Like I said, they're not willing to invest. They're not willing to take on risk. They are scared about losing what meager savings they have. A lot of these people don't have much money to even lose in the first place, which is kind of freeing. Like, go ahead and starting a business when you're broke is great because you ain't got shit to lose. You ain't got shit to lose. But these people think in such a scarcity. They would rather clock in at fucking Walmart, at a shitty job, to lose a meager fucking paycheck that they barely scrape by, slaving away their life, rather than start a business and take on some risk and risk failing. Which, by the way, you do fail in business. It's gonna happen. You're gonna fucking do things that you think are gonna take off and they're not gonna take off. That's just how it is. It's part of the game. But what I'm getting at is, a lot of people don't ever even start a business, or they start one and they don't make it very far because they're so cheap. They're not willing to take on risk. They're not willing to spend a few $1,000s to get a business off the ground. They're not willing. A lot of these people aren't willing to spend $100 on a fucking course. A lot of these people are not willing to spend fucking $20 on a course to figure it out, to get from point A to point B. Imagine that. You're trying to start a business to eventually get rich. We start businesses to make money. And you're not willing to spend $20 to $100. And what happens to these people is they stay broke. They stay as worker ants. They stay in the rat race. I'm going to get back to that point I was making earlier. I've taken that leap of faith. I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on coaching and courses, and I still do it to this day. I still pay for coaching. I still pay. I'm always learning. I'm constantly learning. It is a cheat code. It is a literal fucking cheat code. If you can swallow your pride, if you can pay someone who tells you what to do, or gives you a course that tells you exactly what to do, a blueprint. If you can swallow your pride, if you can put your ego away for once and spend a little bit of fucking money that you're going to lose anyways, and, you're going to spend it on fucking Hulu and Netflix and shit and alcohol and bullshit, fucking video games and food. That same amount of money, you spend fucking $100 on a fucking Netflix, Hulu, fucking junk food, DoorDash. It shows where your priorities are. You need to be willing to lose money. You need to put away that fear of losing money. And that's like the honest truth. Like, when you're in business, when you're wanting to start a business, you have to accept that you're putting your money on the table. There's a risk of winning and there's a risk of losing. And sometimes you lose the fucking money. Sometimes you spend the money and you don't get shit back. But what you do gain in return is experience. What you do gain in return is insights. All these gurus, all these coaches, all these experts have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into themselves, into their education, to learn, to get better. It's true. They had to go through a bunch of shit, a bunch of learning, spending a bunch of money investing in themselves to get to the point, lost a bunch of money along the way to get to the point, sunk a bunch of money into bullshit to get to where they are now. All these fucking people, these gurus, these people with successful businesses have gone through so many fuck ups in order to get to that point. The course that I created where I was getting flack, for the price, or people not buying, or people not willing to spend, but they wanted all the free information. You can only get so much free shit. I tried explaining this. You can only get so much free shit. Eventually you gotta pay. And you gotta be willing to pay if you want to take that next step. It's as simple as that. And if you're not willing to pay, you're in for a lot of hurt. You're in for a lot of trial and error. You're in for a lot of bullshit. And the thing is, with these coaches, these course creators and all that, everything that they're teaching you, these people that are teaching you, teachers, mentors, they are saving you from all the shit that they went through. They're able to tell you. Like this video I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now my experience, the pain that I went through. What I had to go through. I had to go through that bullshit in order to tell you this. If I didn't go through that shit, if I didn't go through all that trial and error and nonsense, I would not be able to tell you this information. I would not be able to teach you this information. I've done both trial and error, and I've done coaching. Coaching, like getting a coach, signing up for a course is superior. It is faster. It actually ends up saving you money in the long run. In the short term, and that's the thing, it's called short. A lot of these other people, they stay broke because of short-term thinking. You're scared of spending a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 to try to save money. That is the stupidest. You need to get away from this saving money mindset. Stop. You don't have any fucking money to save. You don't have any money. If you have less than 10 grand in your bank, you don't have that much money. You're not rich. I'm sorry to say it. You don't have much to lose. If you lose 2 grand and you only had 2 grand or 3 grand, you really haven't lost shit, guys. Like, seriously. Don't be afraid to blow that fucking 2 grand. Don't be a slave. Don't be a fucking one of these worker ants living in fear. Start the fucking business. Start that fucking project you've been thinking about. Start that coaching. Get into that fucking course. Andrew Tate, one of my favorite guys. He has a course called The Real World. It's $59 a month. $59 fucking dollars a month. They teach you all sorts of business shit. I'm not endorsing it. I'm not fucking trying to shout out. I'm not paid by them. I'm just saying, I'm giving an example. There's a podcast where he talks about this. He said, if you're not willing to spend $59 a month to educate yourself, to join a community of a bunch of other like-minded people, to learn from someone who's done it before you, if you're not willing to spend fucking $60 a month, you deserve to be broke. And I cannot be in more agreement. After you pay for coaching, after you go through a course, after you start making money, after you realize that this shit is just a game, it's a formula, it's a system, you can recreate it, you can replicate it. Once you've done it once, you can do it again and again and again. You just have to fucking learn how to do it right. And you see the brokies, you see the people that aren't willing to spend, that aren't willing to take risk. You're going to think the same thing. You'll be like, bro, this fucking guy does not deserve to be rich because he's living in fear. Because he's not willing to risk anything. Guys, open a history book. Open a history book. Go to your favorite entrepreneur, general, politician, whatever, right? Famous person from history. You will notice a common pattern. Nobody ever fucking made it to the top by playing it safe. Nobody. Nada. Every important person in history took risks. They had to fucking invest or fight or put put themselves on the line. Peasants stay as peasants. If you're a peasant and you're afraid of fucking trading some of your corn so that you can learn how to be a knight, you're going to stay fucking harvesting corn and you're never going to become a knight. You're never going to become a lord or a king because you're stuck in a fucking peasant mindset. You're afraid of losing what little meager bullshit you have. Guys, you will survive. You will survive. If you go, dude, there's fucking homeless, there's fat homeless people. There's literally people out on the streets that are fucking overweight. If they can make it, you can fucking make it. You're working your fucking wage cut job. You're going to be fine. You're not going to die. You're not going to explode if you fucking go broke. It's worth going broke to try to become rich. Because not only will you learn, but you will come back way fucking stronger. My first business venture, the first 2 businesses I started, the first time I started a business, I didn't know shit. I tried to figure it out on my own. I didn't last long. All right? The second business I started, a cleaning business, I had a mentor. I worked for this mentor. I learned from them. I fucking ate scraps. I didn't make much money, but shit, I learned a lot. So that was kind of an investment in itself. I didn't invest money. I invested my time. I basically went under someone else. I learned from someone. I worked for, I mean, that's still money. Time is money. I worked for someone. I worked for very little money, but I learned the skills, and then I started that cleaning business. It didn't last forever. It lasted about a year until I basically ran out of money. That's a whole story for another video. I'll make a video about that. But I ran out of money because I wasn't actually focused on the business. I was still fucking around and not doing what I needed to do. Long story short, I was, just not taking it serious. The third business I started, I learned from my past mistakes. I paid for coaching. I paid for mentorship. I invested what fucking little $2-3 grand that I had. I think I had like $2,000 saved up. I spent the fucking money. I remembered what happened. I fucking locked in. I got on self-improvement. I stuck to it. And now I'm teaching other people how to do it. Now I'm making money teaching other people how to do that. So it just goes to show. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And I'll tell you what. If I had invested in coaching from the very fucking beginning, I would have been where I'm at now a lot quicker. I would have skipped 2 or 3 years of trial and error. I'll tell you what. I've done the trial and error bullshit. It's not worth it. I've done the coaching. It's not a scam. It works. Some coaches are scammers. Yes, I will agree. Some of these people will scam you. But more or less, most of them are being honest. Most of them are just trying to teach you. That's it. So if you guys want to invest in coaching from yours truly, if you want to talk one-on-one, skip 2-3 years of trial and error, get off your ass, get on self-improvement, start a business, learn from someone who's done it before my fucking prices go up, which eventually they are going to go up. So it's kind of like investing in a stock before it becomes super expensive. I have a link down below. Book a call. It's not that expensive. I'm willing to teach people who are willing to learn. So like I said, coaching, courses, all this stuff, paying, all you're doing is paying for knowledge. Knowledge is power. That's all for today. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. Peace.